Hiya! It's Santa's elf here! 'Tis the season to count down the top 10 most memorable Christmas toy fads of all time in Ireland. Now, this was a little bit challenging to do because there are so many toys that are really deadly and were really popular. Like, for example, you've got your evergreens like YoYo, Frisbee, Hula Hoop, Slinkies and football. You've got your water pistols, toy guns, dolls like Action Man. I know you don't like to call Action Man a doll, but realistically they are. And Barbie. You've got board games like Monopoly, Risk, Operation, arts and crafts stuff, Etch and Sketch, Play-Doh, Mala, always a good one, Lego of course, and consoles. So much, such a wealth of toys to choose from. But we are interested in what the in-demand must-have Christmas gifts for kids have been over time. Also, which ones had the most hype surrounding them. And crucially, which ones went on to be bought in huge quantities in the year that they were hot property. Before we get into it though, for the sake of a little nostalgia, I'm going to list a few big favourites over the years that didn't make it into the top 10, but will be warmly remembered by many. So here we go. Children of the 1960s and 1970s may remember the Easy Bake Oven, Tiny Tears, Monchichis, and Big Yellow Teapot. Children of the 1980s, I'd say you're familiar with the Petite Typwriter 990, very important to get the serial number in. My Little Pony, of course, I remember them. Lola Balls, I remember them. I had a Lola Ball, they were deadly. And Transformers as well. Children of the 90s would have had Barbie Dreamhouse, Pokemon cards, they were a massive one. Little interlude, I'm lost. Children of the 21st century were quite fond of the old Razor scooters, Bratz dolls, In the Night Garden, Iggle Piggle, Leapfrog and Leap Pad, and Nerf guns as well. Massively popular in the 21st century. So I think it's time to get to what our top 10 is. At number 10 in our countdown of Christmas toy crazes in Ireland is from 2009. It's the Zuzu Go-Go Pets.
Zuzu pets go everywhere. There's a big world to explore and fun.
They were like little tiny hamster toys that little children absolutely loved. And why wouldn't they?
There's a wheel without the mess.
Where were your Zuzu Zoom?
At number 9, 2014 was the Frozen Elsa Snow Globe.
From Disney's Frozen, experience the magical power of Snow Glow Elsa.
I can do snow magic. Wanna see? Oh, she talks! And her dress lights up!
Lift Elsa's arm and she sings.
Yeah, from the film Frozen, which was an absolute sensation in 2013, and every little girl wanted to be Elsa and Anna and still wants to be Elsa and Anna. It's like one of the biggest films Disney has ever made.
Sing the hit song Let It Go with Snow Glow Elsa.
At number 8 from 1997 was the Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi was in theory a great toy because it was like a pet, except it was plastic and round and had no fur, and you had to look after it, you had to feed it, you had to clean up its poos.
Freunde handelt. Vernachlässigt man den Vogel, stirbt er nämlich und das Spiel ist aus.
And sometimes you might find it, if you didn't look after it well enough, it would die. And sometimes you might find it looking sad, like 3 little piles of stink beside it, and then you'd be like, I'm like a bad owner. At number 7 from 1982 was the BMX bike. And that is actually the only outdoorsy toy in this countdown. Now, why was that so popular? Because, well, it was deadly, obviously. Earlier on that year, the E.T. film had been released, and at the end of the E.T. film there was a massive BMX bike chase. So that made every little boy want a BMX bike. It was kind of like a big deadly ad for the BMX. It could show all the cool things it could do. It could go over all sorts of, muck and terrain, and it was a durable little thing. They basically reinvented the bike. So that was a massively popular one at number 7. At number 6 from 2016 16 was a novel little thing called Hatchimals.
Hatchimals! The magic is in you to bring your Hatchimal to life. Rainbow eyes. Guys, it's hatching.
It was like an egg, a big massive egg, and once you activated it, it hatched into an animal, and joy was in the waiting for it to hatch.
I can't wait to meet her. You never know which Hatchimal is inside. Meet your new Hatchimal.
Fun. Yeah, that sounds like a great toy.
Hatchimals from Spin Master. Who will you hatch?
But loads of people loved it, and that's why it's at number 6. At number 5 from 1998 was the Frisbee.
Me Amanda. Me Amanda. That's Barbie.
Now, the Frisbee was kind of like the Tamagotchi, except it was actually fluffy and looked like a pet, but an evil pet. Some people thought they were kind of a little bit creepy, a little bit like a gremlin. Personally, I thought they looked like a mogwai. They also had their own language called Furbish, which is kind of exciting, except, you know, you kind of worry that they'd start conspiring with each other. Like, don't feed them after midnight.
Furby grows more amazing day by day.
I myself had a Furby, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then, you know, I let it die, just like my Tamagotchi. Bad owner.
Furby, each sold separately, batteries not included.
At number 4 from 1971 was the Space Hopper.
The #1 cultural phenomenon of the last millennium is back, and it's bigger than ever, at twice the size of the original.
A very cool toy back then, and still a very cool toy, still going strong. It was a big bouncy ball, you held onto its horns and you bounced away. It looked a little bit moody though. It had a kind of moody head on it, but wouldn't you if somebody was bouncing on you all day? Although, it depends. One modern reference to the space opera that you might remember is when South Park hilariously parodied it in a very crude way. If you haven't seen it, look it up. At number 3 from 1995 is...
Friends, worried about what to get the kids for Christmas?
Well, worry no more. Get them stick.
It's not too thin, it's not too thick, it's stick, stick, stick. It's covered in bark, it's such a lark, it's stick, stick, stick. Stickity, stickity, stick. It's brown and sticky, it's stick. Stickity, stickity, stick. You get a kick out of stick.
So give them stick. Better that than they get PlayStation. Remember, Saps, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
The Sony PlayStation. The only console in our countdown, and I'll tell you why, because the PlayStation is just that massive. There are other ones that could be, but I'll go into detail a little bit later. Let's talk about the PlayStation first. The PlayStation, if you look at the top 5 consoles of all time, takes up 4 of the top 5 slots, so it really is the #1 console and deserves to be at number 3 on our list, not at number 1 on our list. And if you're curious about what the other console in the top 5 consoles of all time was, it was at number 4, and it was the Nintendo Wii. So other consoles that we think deserve a mention but are not in our countdown because we just didn't do it that way are from the 70s, the Atari, from the 80s, the Commodore 64 and also the Sega Mega Drive, and from the 90s there was Nintendo. Each of those 4 consoles changed the face of gaming, and that's why they're definitely noteworthy and worth mentioning. Also worth mentioning is the big ones of the 21st century, which were Xbox 360 and also Nintendo Wii. All absolutely massive consoles, but this is not a console countdown, it is a general toy countdown. That's why Sony PlayStation at number 3 is the only console in our countdown. At number 2 in our countdown, the top selling Christmas toy of 1980. It was the Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube is such an iconic image of the 80s. Like anytime you see any 80s compilation or anything like that, it's generally going to have a Rubik's Cube on the cover. The Rubik's Cube was invented by a Hungarian professor of architecture called Erno Rubik, and it's actually the best selling toy ever. Now, the reason that it's not at number 1 in our countdown is because what we're looking at is the best-selling toy in that particular year, in that particular craze. So as far as crazes and toy fads and people just going absolutely mad for one thing, our number 1 is from 1984. It is the Cabbage Patch Kids. Because everybody wanted a Cabbage Patch Kid.
They're one of a kind, they're Cabbage Patch Kids. You can give them all of your life.
They were first released in America in 1983, but they didn't get over to Europe until 1984. They were funny looking little dolls, well, big enough dolls actually, and they were actually created by a 21-year-old art student who, after the first Christmas that the Cabbage Patch Kids were sold, became a millionaire because they sold so well. Imagine that. And they just went on to be massive. They're still massive. There was TV series made about them. There was parodies done of them. There was a sticker collection that was released called the Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know if you remember them. And they were like Cabbage Patch Kids, except really gross and funny.
You're a pal. You're the only one. I love you.
They're each one of a kind. They're Cabbage Patch Kids. You can give them all your love.
Cabbage Patch Kids are each sold separately. Each doll comes with a pretend birth certificate and adoption papers from Coleco.
And now, to wrap up our Christmas toy video, we're going to run through some of the biggest toy fads in Ireland by year since 1970. In 1970, it was Risk. 1971 was the Space Hopper. 1972 was skateboards. In 1973 was the Evel Knievel bike. In 1974 was Twister. 1975 was the portable cassette player and also Othello. 1976 was Micronauts, robotic figures based on comic books. Also Stretch Armstrong. In 1977 was Atari 2600. In 1978 was Connect 4. Also Dungeons and Dragons and Simon Says. 1979 was the Sony Walkman. In 1980 was the Rubik's Cube, also Hungry Hungry Hippos. 1981 was Lego Train and also Donkey Kong video game and Smurfs. In 1982 was BMX Bike. 1983 was Care Bears. In 1984 the Cabbage Patch Kids, also Wrinkles Cuddly Toy Dog. In 1985 was Trivial Pursuit and also My Little Pony. 1986 Laser Tag and Nintendo ES. In 1987 was Sylvanian Families. 1988 Ghostbusters Proton Pack and also Super Nintendo. 1989 the Batmobile and Optimus Prime Pack was there as well. In 1990 was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 1991 was Nintendo Game Boy. 1992 was WWF action figures and also Weekend Denim Barbie. 1993 was Talk Boy, also Thunderbirds, Tracy Island. 1994 was Power Rangers. 1995 was Sony PlayStation and also the Beanie Babies. 1996 was Buzz Lightyear and also Tickle Me Elmo. 1997 was Tamagotchis. 1998 was Furbies. 1999 was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire board game and also Pokemon cards. In 2000 was the Texta Robotic Dog and also Razor Scooters. 2001 was Bob the Builder and the Bratz dolls was there as well. 2002 was Xbox. In 2003 was Beyblades Spinning Top. In 2004 it was the iPod Mini and also Robo Sapiens. In 2005 was Xbox 360. 2006 was Nintendo Wii. 2007 was PlayStation 3, also Webkins. In 2008 was High School Musical Dance Smash, randomly. In 2009 was the Zoo Zoo Go Go Pets. In 2010 was Toy Story 3. 2011 was the Nintendo 3DS. In 2012 was Skylanders Giants and the Nerf gun as well. In 2013 was the Xbox One and the Furby Boom! What did it explode when you didn't feel it? In 2014 was Frozen Elsa Snow Globe. In 2015 was Jedi Monster Lightsaber, Kylo Ren Deluxe, and also Barbie's Saddle and Ride. In 2016 was Pie Face, Pie in the Face board game thing, no thank you. Also Hatchimals Purple Egg was massive in that year. 2017 was Fingerlings Puppets, also Cosmo White Robot. In 2018 was Red Dead Redemption 2, a very violent computer game. And in 2019 was the Grumblies, interactive pets that you annoy and beat up because, kiddos, that's the age we're living in.
In 2020, it was the Baby Yoda animatronic doll, and also Paw Patrol Dino Rescue Dino Patroller, WWE Wreck and Slambulance, and various Lego sets. In 2021, it was the Hot Wheels 1-64 assortment. And who knows what the biggest crazed toy of Christmas 2022 might be? Maybe it'll be Little Live Pet's Mama Surprise Guinea Pig, or Squishmallows, or Jiggly Pet Pups, maybe Lego Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 model car set, or Photo Creator Instant Camera, perhaps LOL Surprise, or Imaginext Jurassic World Mega Stomp and Rumble Dino. We'll find out soon enough.
When researching for this video, what was really hard information to come by was toy and gift sales specifically in Ireland, and also information about solely Irish-made gifts and how they had fared over the years. So if you yourself have any information about Irish-made toys or games that have done really well over the years, like, I don't know, maybe the Destination board game, or perhaps there was like a Bosco doll from the 80s that was mad popular, will you leave a comment below and let us know? So maybe by Christmas next year we'll be able to do a countdown of the top 10 biggest Irish-made toys. That would be really cool. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our countdown, and if you did like the video, then like the video. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel. It would really help an awful lot. Slán. Also, stretch Armstrong, stretch Armstrong, stretch Armstrong, stretch Armstrong.